Three, two, and one. What is the deal? What is going on? We are live, guys. My name is John Hilton. I'm president and co-founder of One Up Nutrition. Today, I'm joined by our CEO and fellow co-founder, Vadim Mardovin.
How you guys doing?
And welcome to the One Up Nutrition podcast. Today, our topic is on staying on track while eating out. Vadim, how do you stay on track while eating out?
If you absolutely have to go out and, it's your first birthday or you're out traveling, celebrating something, you don't want to be antisocial. None of us do. And you're going out to eat, there's choices you can make. No matter where you go, what restaurants you go, from my experience, you can always make good choices and bad choices.
Yes.
I mean, there's not, even McDonald's now, you can make good choices. You can get salad there. And you can get healthy stuff there. So, back in the day when I used to have to make those kind of choices and we had to go out, for birthdays or whatever, my whole thing was I always ordered protein. So my other thing was a steak. I love steak, even though good tasting steaks at the restaurants. They got some butter and stuff like that on them. But always good steak.
Can't really go wrong with protein.
Exactly.
Right?
Protein. You can get fish or steak.
Chicken.
Chicken. Yeah, if you're not sick of chicken, you can get chicken at the restaurants. And I would always go with some sides. Something like vegetables. Green beans I remember back in the day was really my favorite. Obviously, stuff at the restaurants, most of it is going to be done with some oil. It's still going to have extra calories compared to stuff that you prepare at home.
Yep.
But a lot better than, say, eating mac and cheese, for example, or eating, mashed potatoes loaded with cheese or loaded with all the, a lot heavier stuff. Roasted beets was another great option. Just staying with veggies and meat. As it's still gonna taste good. You're not being antisocial. You're not eating out of Tupperware. You're not eating white rice and broccoli and chicken. If you were to order a salad, I always told them to put the salad dressing on the side, and you dip the fork into the dressing. And you get that little bit of dressing on top, on the fork, and then you go get your bite.
Yep.
So now your whole salad is not soaked in the dressing, because as you guys know, most dressings have a lot of fat, and if you soak it in a salad, it can become, the calories can go up. And then if you're committed, you want to be committed to your diet, you're gonna have to skip on dessert. If you absolutely have to, somebody's birthday, take a couple bites. Maybe share a dessert with somebody if you absolutely have to. But when I remember staying really on track, and it was really important to me, like it is to almost every one of us. You just don't go crazy on the dessert. And if you feel full, this is a trick that worked for me. Is I would take the soda or the water, whatever I was drinking, and I'll pour it over my food. No joke.
It's hardcore.
You can't eat it. Because there's a lot of times that you just taste the food tastes so good, but you're full and you just keep pushing it, keep eating it, and next thing you know, just you overeat, and that would always help me. Just water over it. People would look at you weird, but hey, I wasn't going back in there eating some steak with Coca-Cola or Pepsi on top of
nasty,
it.
man. I would not want to touch that.
How did you handle those kind of situations where you had to go out?
I think for me, it was like, because they're adding fats to everything, right? Mm-hmm. So the way they cook the food, there's putting oil or whatever it is in there.
Yes.
Dressings and things like that. So I look at it, fats, carbs, and proteins. So I don't want to be eating all three, really. Mm-hmm. So I want to just, I'm just going to pick out all the carbs out of that meal. Like you said, just eat veggies and a protein. Typically for me, it would just be chicken salad, and I would keep the dressing in there for the flavor and stuff like that. But I'll just pull out my carbs, because everything's going to have that fat in it. And you don't really know what they're using when they cook your eggs, if they use butter or not, or they use the oil in the chicken or your steak or whatever like that.
If it tastes extremely good, they probably did.
They probably are, and that's a couple hundred calories right there, probably, So I think just by eliminating the carbs, and then you're not spiking insulin either, and you're not eating large amounts of carbs to really spike your insulin and store fat. So just keeping the insulin spikes low, and trying to keep the calories down by not adding excess carbs and stuff like that, and really just focusing on veggies, proteins, and then the fats are just going to be on top of it, really, So that's how I always did it. I remember traveling across the country, and I ate chicken salad for like a week straight, and I went a little flat, but it's a lot easier to fill back in with carbs than it is to burn off tons of body fat. That's how I look at it. So.
Yep.
It works.
Don't load up on the bread that they bring out.
Oh God, no.
In the
There's
beginning-
no
in the
carbs.
beginning.
No carbs. I just curb the carbs.
The good news is, guys, what we're trying to get out of this podcast is that no matter what restaurant you go to, even if you go to a gas station, if you know what's good, what's bad for your diet, you can pick something out.
Yeah.
You're not gonna starve.
We have options.
You have
They're
options.
here, yeah.
We have options everywhere, and it all comes down to self-control and how dedicated you are. And there's always ways, right? You don't want to be antisocial and say, listen, I absolutely cannot go out. I have to stay home.
Yeah.
Every meal has to be out of Tupperware.
It's only for like competitors and people that are stepping on stage and they're
Yeah.
really just chasing perfection. They're
Yep.
trying to be as perfect as possible. I wouldn't recommend a normal person to try to strive for like ultimate greatness. No one's perfect. It never happens.
Here's an example. My previous job when I was, our manager would take us out to lunch, and they would always get tacos, and I just got taco salad. So I eliminated the chips out of it. It was just ground beef, chicken, whatever, with corn and salad. While they were eating tacos, they had the shells, soft shell, hard shell, and they were eating guacamole and chips, and I just put guacamole in my salad. And that's it. So now I wasn't antisocial. I was part of the group. I was sitting down. We went to the same restaurant. But the choices that I made, I just saved myself probably about 100 grams of carbohydrates, maybe even 150, eating all those taco and chips and the fat too. Yep. So that's, I think we touched on. We want to encourage you guys, don't be antisocial, but make smart choices. Right now, especially every single restaurant, you could.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
like you said, McDonald's even.
McDonald's,
like that. Yeah. Although I wouldn't eat a McDonald's, but
it's all up to you guys. You are in control. It's a great thing about fitness and training is what you put in is what you get out, and you are in full control.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the podcast today. If you're listening to this on the podcast, SoundCloud,
on iTunes.
iTunes. How does it work?
iTunes. Please give us rating. And
share with your friends.
If you like what you hear, please share this episode and other episodes with your friends. We love this stuff, guys. That's why we get together every week and do these. And also comment below in YouTube.
On YouTube, yep.
Let us know if there's any other
subscribe
subjects that you want us to discuss.
Yep. Awesome, guys. So for One Up Podcast, this is Vadim and John, over and out.